Well, the demand is for justice. The demand is also for these voices not to be silenced in any manner as time passes. Whether we're looking at systemic, institutional, or even individual reform and change of mindsets that is needed. Big questions asked about our political class, about the government. Did it respond too late? Did it not reach out to the people who were trying to make their voices heard? Well, there are lots of views on that as well, and listen to some of them. Some saying it was a little too late.
Early Sunday morning, as a special plane carrying the 23-year-old landed in a first, the Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh and Sonia Gandhi received the body, condoling with the family. But questions continue to be raised. Earlier, Sheila Dikshit was heckled as she arrived to condole the death of the 23-year-old Braveheart, 13 days after the rape and assault. But many saw the CM's engagement with the citizens on the street as too little, too late.
Today, if Sonia Gandhi has come or Prime Minister Manmohan Singh has come to receive the body, I think it's just too late. It's only in reaction to the public anger, but this is not the first time a rape has happened in Delhi. It's happened many, many times, and what happened last week was just the final trigger.
And that's been at the heart of anger against the government right through. After being played up in the media, Parliament responded.
तुरंत इस पर कदम उठा, कोई विलंब न हो, कोई ऐसा संदेश न जाए कि इसमें विलंब हो रहा है.
Echoed by eminent citizens.
I felt ashamed to be an Indian. I felt very sad.
The accused were speedily caught and VIPs went to meet the girl. Yet the protests picked up. Perhaps as the brutality of the attack sank in, and perhaps as the lapses of the government that could have prevented the tragedy lay exposed, or perhaps it was just over the danger women face daily. In the following days, the demonstrations intensified, taking the police by surprise, reaching the gates of Rashtrapati Bhavan, surrounding the car of Bengal governor. Not a leader from the Congress or the government came out to speak directly with the protesters, preferring to do so through the press or mere statements.
The government shares the widespread concern.
मामला कानून से जुड़ा हुआ है.
Then came what's perhaps the turning point. Unarmed youth wanting to meet the Chief Minister at her residence. But the police responded like this when they tried to enter her house. The police became the face of the government. But policemen go by the rule book, and that does not distinguish between a just cause and a not so just cause. Still, no signs of any political leader on the ground. No lessons appear to have been learnt over the weekend as the police reinforced the barriers between the Neta and the Janta. Sonia and Rahul Gandhi met the protesters at her residence to calm down tempers and assure everyone that the government was keen to act. Delhi MP and the CM's son, Sandeep Dikshit, who made a late appearance, was heckled. The Congress's famed youth brigade largely stayed away.
Why for so many days were there no Congress leaders, not Rahul Gandhi, who represents in a sense the Congress party believes the youth of this country? Why is it only today that we heard him issue a statement? Why did he not engage with these young people? They need reassurance. What about other Congress leaders? Be honest, Priya, in hindsight, was that a big mistake?
I think it was, and I can't speak for anyone. I can't speak on behalf of anyone. I can only speak for myself, and as an individual, as a citizen of this country, I feel completely frustrated and broken today.
Barricading the whole city, it is not going to stop that. Right. People have such kind of an anguish in them. They'll come out of their houses and do such things.
They have to give us some place to protest. Just giving us Jantar Mantar, it won't help. People are coming out from every area. They want to do candle marches. So that kind of freedom we deserve.
The Home Minister, who's effectively the top boss of the Delhi police, explained why the government leaders should not meet the protesters in the street.
Prime Minister has addressed the nation. This is something that many people believe should have been his first instinct. Similarly, Sonia Gandhi, you mentioned, met with the protesters. What many people are wondering is that all the government needed to do was to show some compassion and show some common sense. That's all they needed to do. The PM addressed the nation first.
I do not understand this. You are all the time telling, you see, to politicians should have gone there and meet. Tomorrow, you see, the Maoist people would have been there. Tomorrow, BJP people would have been there. Tomorrow, communist people would have been there. Tomorrow, just listen to me now. Tomorrow, Adivasi people would have been there. Very sensitive. All the time, government go there. The government cannot go at each and every. Government has suffered all these things. Government should be very sensitive and take action. The government should not go to the agitators. Their representatives were coming to me.
Thereafter, the government responded with a heavy hand. More so, perhaps, as a constable collapsed and later died. The events and the cause of his death are mired in contradictions. The clampdown, heavily criticized online, also slowed down the city, perhaps further alienating people.
आप लोग कहाँ ले जा रहे हैं?
कलावती से लेकर आए हैं। क्या है? कलावती हॉस्पिटल से इसका MRI कराना है।
कहाँ पे जाना है?
ये डॉक्टर गुलाटी है इमेजिंग। अच्छा। ग्रीन पार्क में, हौस खास में।
अच्छा, और ये जाने नहीं दिया आपको?
जाने का रास्ता बंद कर रखा है दोनों।
आप लोगों ने बोला पेशेंट है?
हाँ, पेशेंट है, सारा बैरियर लगा के रखा हुआ है।
For the last week, most of central Delhi has been shut by the police in a bid to prevent protesters from going to either India Gate or to North and South Block. Now there is growing anger over how not only a city but the heart of the national capital has been made inaccessible to its citizens, and how at the same time government leaders have failed to engage directly with those protesting on the streets.
Amid the protests, the government secretly began to plan shifting the 23-year-old girl battling bravely to stay alive out of India.
Which doctor said, I don't know, but the doctors we have consulted, it is on the opinion of the doctors, and we have sent it.
Would you say that the decision to take India's daughter from Safdarjung in Delhi to Singapore was a medical decision or a political decision?
I'm not a politician. I cannot comment on that. My decision was just to help her transfer. She was in a transferable situation. If she was not, I would have refused. I don't work for the government.
While protesters were driven by Twitter, Facebook and other social media and fueled, among other things, by misogynist comments of top-level elected leaders, the government admitted it was ill-prepared.
Successive governments have maintained that the responsibility for law and order in the capital city should remain with the central government. That's the practice in most capitals of the world. I'm not saying all, most capitals of the world. Again, as I said, this is not the time to debate those issues.
I want to assure you that your voice has been heard. As a woman and mother, I understand how you feel. I appeal to you to remain calm and help strengthen our collective resolve to fight the menace of violence against women.
The last few days of 2012 will perhaps prove to be a turning point in our history, both in the terms as to how we treat our women and also how responsive our criminal justice system will be in future.
But going beyond the last few days, the horrific incident and the spontaneous protests are a wake-up call to our political class on the need to relearn to engage with crowds. Ordinary men and women out on the streets to protest for a just cause, a skill that our political class across the divide seems to be fast losing. With Sudhir Ranjan Sen and Alok Pandey and camera person Ashok Mahala, I am Sandeep Pukan reporting for NDTV.
India's #1 news app just got even better. Download NDTV's new app. Fully optimized for retina display. Full screen view. Faster response time. And Sudoku. NDTV's new iPad app. Download now.